What's up? Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time clicking on, welcome. Become a part of the family. Hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave any comment down below. I will respond. And of course, we have another story time. I have a cocktail, but it is just like a spiked fruit punch with, of course, my Hennessy. Just a simple little drinky drink, and we just gonna get this thing rolling. I got a cool story time for y'all. A catfish, of course, but yeah, let's just go ahead and get into the story time, y'all. Not too strong, very good. I have older cousins, right? I'm one of the younger cousins in my family. Most of my cousins are older than me. So this one particular cousin, he would always have like gatherings at his house, barbecues, just get-togethers. All the family would come over there all the time. Occasionally, every other month or so, we would gather at his house, and this time was one of those times. And I barely come around, but I wanted to, I wanted to see family, so I did decide to go. And everything was cool. We was all in the living room. A lot of aunts was there, a couple aunties. I mean, uncles I haven't seen in a while. It was real cool to catch up with family, so. The night is winding down. Everything is good. We have ate, child. The barbecue is still going. We're drinking. And it's not many places to sit inside of the kitchen area and the living room area. Like, it was a lot of people. So I decided to go outside with my cousin and, just go outside on the porch because it's crowded in the house. And I have an older cousin who was sitting at the kitchen table. He was on FaceTime with somebody. Who he was on FaceTime with, I have no idea at this point. But when I walked past my cousin, I guess whoever he was on the phone with, he saw me. So I can hear on the phone, as I'm opening the front door, I can hear the guy on the FaceTime with my cousin. He was like, oh, who that is? She look nice. She juicy. She real juicy. So my other cousin was like, chill out. That's my little cousin, chill. He was like, oh, she pretty. She pretty. So I forgot something. I make a U-turn. I go back in the kitchen. I got what I needed out of the kitchen, and I head back to the front door to go to the porch. And again, this guy on FaceTime, he was like, oh goodness, who is Juicy? Red. She juicy and red. She pretty. So my cousin like, yo man, chill. Like, just chill. That's my little cousin. So I go outside and I'm hanging, chilling with my other cousins. We're on the porch. We're talking. It's a good little minute at this point. So the mosquitoes start to bite. It's getting a little hot. It's very humid down here. So the mosquitoes and humidity, it was time to go back in the house. So we decided to go back in the house. Some time has passed by now. It's not like a little 5 minutes. We was on the porch for like a good while. So I go back in the house. We take our shoes off at the front. My older cousin is smiling at me. So my cousin like, yo, mommy, I'm just letting y'all in on a little secret here. My nickname is Mommy. So he was like, yo, mommy. I'm like, what's up? He was like, yeah, my friend, he really like you. Like, when you walked out the door, he couldn't stop talking about you. I told him, like, get up off you, but my friend really interested in you. So I'm like, who is your friend? He was like, my friend Joshua. He's like, yeah, I mean, he cool people or whatever. I'm like, I don't know him. Like, I'm not really interested. Who is this guy? So my cousin was like, let me call him back. So I'm like, yeah, you was just on FaceTime with him, call him back. So we're sitting at the table, the dining room table. My cousin's FaceTiming him back. Called him one time. My cousin like, man, I just got off the phone with him. Like, pick up the phone. So my cousin redialed him on FaceTime again. He ain't answer the phone. So I'm like, wow, maybe he's busy. I didn't get to speak with him. So I'm like, who is this friend, Joshua? So my cousin go to tell me like, yeah, I've known him for a long time. He's cool people. Yeah, he saw you walk past and he just really couldn't stop talking about you. Like, you could talk to him. So I was a little hesitant at first. I was like, who is this guy? This just was a little quick this happened in like 2 minutes. So I'm like, who is this guy? And I sat down and I thought about it for a minute. And my cousin was like, my girl cousin, she heard everything that was going on. So she was like, oh, Joshua, cool people. He real funny. Mommy, give him your number. So I tell my older cousin, I'm like, okay, go ahead, give Joshua my number, and we could kick it. And then I sat and thought about it. I'm like, no, let me get his number. So my cousin was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So my cousin gave me Joshua's phone number. So, you know, because my cousin gave a good word in for Joshua, I was like, okay, I'm dating. I have, you know, I talk to people here and there, but, you know, let me go ahead and text the guy, you know, when I got home, and let me see what's up. So you know, I was bored one night and I just decided to text Joshua. So I'm like, hey, this mommy, well, I'm gonna use my name. I'm like, this Londa, how you doing? Like, my cousin told me that you know, you like what you saw, and you know, you just want to talk. So he responded back quick, very quick. He was like, yeah, I saw you walk past real quick, but man, you gorgeous. Like, you really pretty. You juicy. You just what I like. Like, he's like, you really pretty. I'm like, oh, you know, thank you. I know this, but thank you. Just flattery. So we continue talking and we're getting to know each other. His conversation was very good. He's talking to me and I'm like, you know, well, I'm this old. How old are you? And he was just a few years older than me, but not much. He described himself to be like a nice build. He said he was like 6'1", muscular, you know, chocolate. So this is what he's telling me. So I'm on, you know, texting and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, he sound very handsome. And he did text back very fast, so I was going good. So I'm like, okay, let me call him. Let me call Joshua on the phone. So I called Joshua on the phone. He answers the first call. Joshua sound like Barry White, y'all. He sound like he had a deep voice. He sound real good. So the whole time I'm on the phone with Joshua, I just was imagining just muscle chocolate guy with this deep voice, you know. He just sounds so good. So I was excited. So, you know, we just still talking and we still getting to know each other. So he's asking me what I do. I don't remember what I was doing in life at that time. I don't remember what I told Joshua, y'all. But I do know we got into him saying that he was in is it called semi-pro football? You know, like when you're kind of out of college, but you're not pro. Is it like semi? So he was explaining to me that he was like in semi pro football or whatever. He do that on his free time, and he's really good. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds really good. Like, you know, you must be real cool. You got some skills, got talent. You must have a nice body, you know, real nice, real good. I'm feeling it. He said he been doing the football thing since forever, since high school. He's always done football, you know, this is his thing. Football is his thing. So I'm talking, asking him more about what's his life and what he got going on. And I asked him about my cousin because my cousin who introduced me to him plays football. He was in college. Well, he don't play football anymore, but he coaches football at a park. What, like, you know, like the teenagers and stuff like that. So I asked him about my cousin. I'm like, yeah, you know, you be out there with my cousin sometime because he coached the football. And he's like, oh, yeah, I be out at the park all the time. Like, I be with your cousin all the time helping him coach. Like, you know, like I do my thing, you know. I'm like, okay, cool, you know. He didn't know that my cousin, well, the park is like literally a 6-minute drive from where I stay at the time. Like, the park was literally up the street from where I stayed, and I was at the park all the time because a lot of my little cousins, they cheered and they played football at the park. So I would be at that park all the time. He just didn't know that I didn't mention it. But yeah, he's like, I be with your cousin all the time. Like, I be out there helping him coach the boys, and I'm very strict with the boys. I make them, they very fit. Like, I don't play with them. He's just telling me all of this and I'm eating it up. I'm like, okay, he must be a good coach, you know. And in my head I'm thinking you know, I might swing by over there one day and check him out. You just surprise him or whatever. But I didn't say none of this. And he's going on and bragging about himself. And Joshua seemed like a cool guy. But he's just strict with the boys and they're very fit, and they every time he helped my cousin coach the boys, they win the games. And he's just going on and on and on, bragging about himself, how good he is with the boys and how good of a football coach he is. He was really getting me, y'all. I was like, yeah, I can't stop touching his hair. It's so soft, y'all. And he was just going on and on about himself and about how good of a football player he is. And, you know, I'm just listening because Joshua is a vibe right now. His voice was so good. I was just listening to him. I'm just relaxing, chilling. I'm talking about every time I talked to him, I was just grinning. So because the conversation is going so good, I'm like, you know, I don't have an iPhone, but I have an Android. I want to video you though. I want to see you, like, you know. I asked him to video. I'm like, I know I don't have an iPhone, I don't have FaceTime, but I want to video you and see you. So he's like, yeah, I got an iPhone. I'm like, well, there's multiple ways to skin a cat. Like, well, there's the Google video. I don't know what it's called. We have WhatsApp. Like, it's a couple ways that I can video you. So he's like, oh, well, I don't have much space on my phone. Just pretty much giving me like all kind of excuses on why he couldn't download WhatsApp and video me real quick. Or he got this, his storage is running low. He don't have room on his phone to do all of that. And just, just pretty much gave me the run around like, yeah, chill for the night. I can't video you. And I got the point. So I asked him that one time and I kind of laid off asking him the video. We just continued texting here and there and talking on the phone. But Joshua was a vibe at this point. Now, at some point, we did exchange photos and pictures. He sent me a lot of pictures actually, like with his family, of him. A lot of selfies, I can say. From like his stomach up, he was very handsome and he was built. He did look like he played some football. He was a little muscular and he was, very handsome. I sent a few pictures back to him and we was digging each other. So eventually we did get to the point where I saw him and, I saw Joshua's face. And, so I come up with this little plan one day, right? Remember how I told you the park was literally like down the street from where I stayed? So I'm like, okay, I got in my car and I'm like, okay, I'm bored. I don't have nothing to do. Let me call my cousin. Since he said he'd be up there with my cousin at the park all the time, let me see. So I called my cousin. What's up, cuz? I'm like, hey, what's up? What you doing? He like, oh, I'm up here at the park, coaching the kids. It's football practice. So I'm like, cool. How long, what time football practice over again? He like 6. I'm like, okay, bet. It was like 4 around this time. So, I'm sitting in the car. I'm just anticipating. I'm like, should I, try to pop up on him or whatnot? But the conversations was going so good between me and Joshua, I thought that it would be okay. So I'm sitting there. So I'm like, okay. So I'm driving to the park and I call Joshua on my way to the park. So he picks up the phone and I'm like, Joshua, what you doing? He's like, nothing. I'm actually at the park with your cousin. Like we're out here with the kids. It's football practice. So I'm like, oh, okay, how's it going? He's like, it's slow right now. A lot of the kids haven't made it here just yet, but I'm out here at the park with your cuz. So I'm like, bet. So I hang up with him and I'm still driving to the park. Now I'm driving to the park. I'm nervous. I'm shaking. I'm like, dang, is this kind of crazy? Is it a little bit crazy? But I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm driving to the park. I eventually make it to the park. I find the little field area where my cousin coach at and I park in the parking spot. So I'm looking, I see my cousin. He's talking to the children and they doing laps around the track, warming up for practice. And I'm looking, I don't see nobody else with him, just my cousin and the children. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay. I put on my little lip gloss and, just making sure my hair was okay. I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I'm a little nervous, but I'm good. But before I get out of the car, I'm like, I chickened out a little bit. So I'm like, okay, let me just call Joshua. I don't really want to pop up on this man, So I call Joshua. Joshua picks up the phone. I'm like, hey Joshua, what you doing? He like, yeah, I told you I'm out here still with your cousin with the kids. So I'm like, well, I'm out here. I'm out here parked in front of the field where my cousin at. He got quiet. So I'm like, hello? He's like, yeah, where you say you was? I said, I'm right here in front of the park with my cousin. I see my cousin. He's like, oh, man, damn, like, I just left the park. Like, I say, but you just said you was at the park. He was like, yeah, but I'm in my car. I just pulled off. Like, I have to go do something. Y'all, and I'm sitting there and I'm like confused. I'm like, what? I didn't see nobody pull off. So I'm sitting there rubbing my lips together because I just put on lip gloss and I'm sitting there like twiddling with my fingers because I'm like, do he think I'm stupid? Like what? So I'm like, Joshua, you just told me you was here. But he was like, no, I literally just got in my car. I'm just pulling out. Well, I'm like, well, I came up here to see you. Like, I wanted to surprise you. He was like, no, I just pulled out and I just left. So I'm sitting there. I remember seeing a napkin in my seat. I take the napkin and I wipe my lip gloss off. And I just was like so disappointed. I was just like, dang, am I crazy? Like, he just told me he was at work with my cousin, but he's not here. But, you know, I just didn't want to dwell in it. I didn't want to sit in that funk too long. And I didn't really want to be out there anyway. It's too hot. I just wanted to see him and surprise him because he never can video me. Like, I was getting tired of sending photos back to back. I really wanted to see Joshua in person. But it was just really weird how it only took me like 5 minutes to pull up. You just said you was out there. Now you gone. What's good, bro? I eventually pull off and I go back home, and you know, I hang up with him. You know, that phone call was a little awkward. I was like a little quiet, but it is what it is. I go home, and that was that, honey. In my head, I felt something was off, but I just wanted to give Joshua the benefit of the doubt. So one day I'm hanging with my homegirl, and we're like in my room, and I'm on the phone with Joshua now. We're on the phone, and he's like apologizing to me, like, and I'm like, what are you apologizing for? Yeah, probably guilty conscience. You know, he know what he was doing. So he's apologizing to me because I was so excited to see him, and we were talking, my friend there, and I got him on speaker. Like, me and my homegirl, we're cool. Like, me and Joshua wasn't talking about nothing inappropriate, like sexual or like, you know, nothing bad or private. So I had him on speaker, and my homegirl was in the room with me, and we're just talking. We're talking. So he asked me to go on a date, and I was like shocked. I was like, you know, I didn't want to say yeah, but I was like, you know, I have to see about my schedule, see when I'm free. You know, I was acting a little hard to get, so I was like, what day you say you want to go again? He was like, it don't matter, like a weekend. I was like, well, this weekend busy, next weekend. I said something like that. You know, I was playing hard to get. So eventually I was like, yeah, I'll go on a date with you. And I was like, where do you want to go? Josh was like, yeah, we can go ahead, go to this restaurant by the water. We could eat some good food, and we could just walk on the beach, you know, sightsee. You know, it's Miami, like, you know, we can go sightseeing and just eat some good food. And I was like, yeah, a bet. Sounds like a good plan. And I look at my homegirl, and she's like, yeah, that's a good idea. So I agreed. I'm like, yeah, I was excited. So we on the phone for a good little while. Like, he on speaker. I'm laying on my stomach on the bed, my feet swinging. Probably hanging halfway off the bed at some point. I don't know, twiddling my fingers. I don't know. I was just smitten by Joshua, y'all. It was a good conversation. Toward the end of that conversation on the phone, some lady comes in the room. I can hear like in the background of Joshua. And she's like, Joshua, I told you to stop leaving your booty crumbs on the seat. It's putting bumps on the back of my thighs. So before, like, I could hear him like shuffling the phone, and he like, it went on mute. Like, I could tell he put the phone on mute. So me and my homegirl, we look at each other and we bust out laughing. Like, I put my phone on mute and we bust out laughing. And I was like, girl, did you hear that? She was like, yeah. This lady said, if y'all didn't hear me the first time, she said, Joshua, I told you to stop leaving your booty crumbs on the seat. It's putting bumps on the back of my thighs. So me and my friend, we're in the room, we're dying laughing. We're laughing so hard. We're on mute, right? So eventually he come back to the phone, and I'm telling my friend, like, hush, hush, hush. So he was like, man, like, my mama always tripping, dog. Like, she always coming in my room and she always talking shit. Like, this is why I need to get my own spot. And my homegirl, she's still in the background laughing. So Joshua was like, dang, y'all laughing at me? I was like, no, we not. We talking about something, like, you know. He was a little embarrassed because he was trying to get off the phone at this point. So I'm like, yeah, I'll accept your date, and we can talk tomorrow or another time or whatever. He hurry up and get off the phone, and before he ends the call, I can hear him like say something back to his mama, because he was like, man, and it just hung up. So me and my homegirl spent that night laughing, like, booty crumbs. Like, really? People, like, you leave booty crumbs on the toilet seat, and then people in your house getting bumps on the back of their thigh, on their butt? I ain't never heard it before. Never heard it before. All right, so the day of this date, y'all, you know, just like every other girl, I was excited. I was nervous. You know, I was talking to my homegirl on the phone. She always in my room, all up and through my closet anyway. So she kind of, had an idea of the kind of stuff I had. So we're on the phone talking about, oh girl, you should wear those pants, you know, those red shoes that you got and that purse that you got. Yeah, put that together. So we're on the phone doing stuff like that. And I'm, you know, just excited. I'm like, oh girl, like we've been texting all day. Like me and Joshua, like he good with the communication. Like he ain't flaking, you know, like he been texting me all day. He woke me up with the good morning text. Like we're really gonna do this. I'm about to see Joshua, y'all. So I'm excited. I hang up with my homegirl eventually. I'm still texting Joshua. I'm like, hey, yeah, what's up? He's like, yeah, I'm just getting ready. Like, you know, we're just texting throughout the day. So, you know, I get in the shower. I fix my hair. I have my clothes laid out already. So I'm putting on my undergarments, you know, just getting ready. So I'm still texting Joshua. At some point, what is this? At some point, he stopped texting me while I was getting ready. So, girl, I started getting nervous. So I get to calling him, ringing him up. I called him like twice. He didn't answer the phone. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's a little busy. Maybe he in the shower. Maybe he doing something. He not by the phone. So I continue to get ready. At this point, I'm like 90% ready. Probably just got to do my finishing touches at this point. He called me back. I'm sitting on the bed, and he's like, you know, I don't know. He trying to act mad. Oh, man, I'm so sick of this, man. Like, I'm so tired of my family, man. They always doing this to me. So I'm just sitting on the bed. I sunk in. I'm like, oh, my goodness, I know where this is going. So I'm listening to him. He's like, I'm so tired of my family. I'm like, what's wrong, Joshua? So he was like, my mama, she have a last minute therapy appointment, and I have to be, you know, I have to be there. I'm a caretaker. I have to do this. I have to do that. So I'm like, it's Saturday. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know if people have therapy on Saturdays or whatever. Could be. But I was like, it's Saturday. Like, you know, he was like, yeah, man, like I'm my mama caretaker. Like, I have to be there and do this for her. So I'm just sunk in on the bed, and I'm real disappointed, y'all. Like, I'm not happy anymore. Because why can't I see you? Why every time I'm trying to see you, you're running? Like, why are you hiding? Why? What is it? What are you hiding? So I'm like, dang, like you made me get ready. I'm like really just almost ready. Just put on my shoes. And so he was like, yeah, man, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm gonna make it up to you, and I'm gonna see you. We're gonna go on a real good date. So I hung up the phone, and y'all, I was really disappointed because I wanted to see Joshua, but I called my homegirl. I was already put together, hair done, everything. My little outfit was cute, you know, just ready to go out. So I called my homegirl. I'm like, girl, he flaked on me at the last minute. Like, he pulled some calling me acting like he was mad stunt. So my homegirl's like, girl, I'm on my way. Me and my homegirl went out, rode through the city, did some things, had a good time. He wasn't really on my mind. Probably linked with some other people. Who knows? I just know me and my friend, we went out and we had a good time that night. So me getting ready, it did not all go to waste. I was disappointed, but not that much. So like I said, I was so disappointed. But one day I get a call on my WhatsApp, honey. And guess who it was? Joseph. Well, yeah, his number was saved in my phone. So yeah, I knew it was Joseph. Yeah, Joshua, y'all. So it was Joshua. This little cocktail kicking in. Joshua. So I'm sitting in my room. I get a little WhatsApp jingle, and somebody was trying to video me, and I was like, Joshua. I was so happy, y'all. I immediately picked up the phone. Ding. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Acting all cute, and he was very handsome. Like, again, from that stomach up, Joshua was handsome, y'all. He was chocolate, like I said on his pictures. He looked just like his pictures. Very cute. Very, 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 very handsome. Very handsome. And yeah, we was talking, and like I said, stomach up. Like, you know, just FaceTime how you would really see anybody anyway, right? But the conversation was good. I was so happy that he called me, but he called me, he apologized to me, telling me he was very sorry. His mama, like, you know, he's a caretaker most of the time, and she had therapy at the last minute, and he had to do this. It was very important. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I was just happy that I got to see him on video finally, you know. So I'm listening to him, eating it up. I'm like, okay, you sorry. It's okay. Just don't let it happen again. We continued talking. He was like, cool. So this time, I'm going to meet you at the train station, because we had the train station, a metro rail here. I'm going to meet you at the metro rail station because I have my car parked at this metro rail station, and we're going to go on a little date, right? So I was like a little confused on why his car was in a different location, but hey, I was excited. I was on video with Joshua. Like, I'm seeing him. He real. Like, this whole time I'm thinking Joshua is fake, but I finally see him on video, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Your car is here. We can meet at this train station, and we're going to go get your car, and we're going to go ride the town and do what it do. So that was the plan. So he really got me good. I was just all into it. I'm like, okay, yeah. I didn't care what the plan was. I just was excited to meet Joshua. The day come. So we're talking, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to meet you at the train station at this time. So the train station was not far. Like, most things from my house was not far, y'all. I get ready. I walk to the train station. Because I didn't want to park my car at the train station. I just, he wanted to do this train ride. I don't know what it was about this train ride. I could have drove my car to the train station where his vehicle was, and we could have left from there. He was adamant about this train ride. So I walked to this train station, and I'm sitting on the bench, and I'm texting Joshua. I'm like, Joshua, I'm here. Hello. It takes a little time before he texts me back. He's like, okay, I'm coming. I'm pulling up. I'm on my way. So it's like 10, 20 minutes now. Like, homeless people were starting to like sit next to me on the bus stop at the bench. And I'm looking at crazies across the street. One guy walking with a bat and swinging it, yelling at the sky. And I don't know. It's just a lot going on. So I'm like calling him. I'm like, hi, Joshua. Hello. I'm here. So he's like, yeah, I'm coming. Like, I'm coming. Like, give me like 5 minutes. I'm coming. So I'm like, okay. Still sitting there. Now the bus stop is full of people. The bus pulls up. All of these people get on the bus. The bus pulls off. So now it's just me again. I called Joshua again. Hello? Anybody home? So he's like, yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you, like, I couldn't make it to the train station, but I sent my cousin to come get you. So I'm like, what? What is all of this? Like, it's always something with Joshua. So I'm sitting on the bench just like, what? He's like, yeah, I sent my cousin to come get you. And okay. Not okay, though. But I'm sitting there thinking like, what, huh? Just how y'all so confused. This guy was giving me the run around, like, who child? Giving me the run arounds. Like, I was so confused. Why you have to send your cousin to come get me? The craziest thing happened. Until this day, I cannot explain. He did not explain. I can only guess and assume what this was all about. But I'm sitting on the bench and I'm texting Joshua. I'm like, okay, this is weird. Like, I ain't gonna lie. My mind was telling me to get up and walk off and go home. But, I'm texting him. So, just a few minutes pass by. I see somebody's like slow walking up to me. Some guy. Look normal, whatever. He didn't look crazy, but he's slow walking up to me. So I'm texting. I'm looking down. I'm looking up. And I'm looking down. I'm looking up. He's looking at me. You kind of can tell what somebody's trying to be. Y'all kind of talking with your eyes like, is that you? So this guy eventually walks up to me. He's like, yeah, you Londa? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm Joshua's cousin. He sent me to come get you. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, where are we going? Like, he's like, yeah, we finna walk to where he at. He got his car. And I'm like, hold on, what? Just how y'all so confused. I'm like, this guy said we're gonna catch the train to his car and we're gonna go on a date. Now his cousin is telling me we're gonna walk down the street to his car and we're gonna leave. So again, my mind is telling me to Londa, just walk off. Girl, just walk off. And so I'm walking toward either way where if I wanted to like walk off and go home, it was at one exit. If I wanted to walk off with this guy, it was one exit. If I wanted to do anything, it was one exit. So me and him just slow talking. Now, mind you, we're at a train station in the middle of the day. It's a lot of people around, so I felt okay. But I'm so confused, just like y'all. So as me and this guy walking towards the exit of this train station outside, I'm like, no, I want to go home. But before I could finish my thought, listen, He takes off running. He takes off running down the street. This was the weirdest shit ever. I'm not too drunk right now. I'm not off my rockers. I'm not, listen. Before I can complete my thought in my head, this guy just takes off running down the street. And I'm talking about not a jog. He took off sprinting down the street. He took off sprinting down the street. And I sat there, just standing there, and I was just looking around. I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed because, like I said, a lot of people was out there and they just was, you know, they could see. They have eyes. This guy, we were talking one minute and he just took off running. Just took off and left me there standing there. The craziest thing, y'all. Ooh, that was a crazy experience. So I'm just, I'm so red. I'm so embarrassed. Because I know people saw that. I know they just saw us two standing up and this guy just take off running. I do not know what this is about. Listen, I don't know what it was about. So I gathered myself. I continue walking towards my house. Now, I didn't like blow Joshua's phone up or call him or nothing like that because I thought everything that was going on was so weird. Like, I didn't understand what was going on. Like, you told me we was going to do one thing. You sent somebody and he took off sprinting down the street and left me standing there out of nowhere. Weird. So I get home finally and it's like an hour later. This guy Joshua calls my phone. And he's just like, you know, I gotta be honest, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was supposed to meet you at the train station, but I got so scared. Like, we are young, but you are grown. How are you scared? So he's like, I got scared, and so I sent my cousin, like, but I saw you though, like, I was close by. I saw you though. You beautiful. Like, I was so scared. And I just was so turned off by that. Cause like, what? You a young man. How are you too scared to come approach me at the train station? You sent your weird cousin to I guess see if I was, I don't know what he sent his cousin to do. His cousin take off, leave me standing there. Weird encounters. So he just explained it to me like he was just too scared. So I'm like, you know what, Joshua? I can't never see you. Like, every time I'm trying to see you, you're like a ghost. You're Casper. Like, it took forever to see you on a video. I try to pop up on you and you're not like at the games and stuff like that, like at the park. Like, you had your cousin run off on me and embarrass me in front of everybody. Like, I'm so confused right now. And I'm telling him, like, I don't think that I really want to do this. Like, you know, I don't really want to kind of date you and talk to you anymore. So he understood. He really did understand that I really wasn't feeling it. Like, I didn't want to talk to him anymore. And that conversation pretty much was dead at that point. So I get it back around my cousin at some point, and I'm talking to my big cousin, and I'm talking to him about Joshua. I'm like, yo, your friend is very weird. And my cousin like, what? What my friend did to you? I'm like, he ain't do nothing like physical or whatever, but your friend is like mad weird. And he like, what you mean? What you talking about? I'm like, well, first of all, it took forever for him to video me. And he was like, well, he video all the time. Like, this dude got like all kind, I know you don't have an iPhone, but this dude got like all kind of apps and stuff on his phone. And because he always home. He's always home. So I'm like, well, he told me he didn't have like no WhatsApp and stuff like that. And it took a while for us to video. So I'm like, yeah, it's just weird. So I said, you remember that day I called you to see if you was at work, you know, coaching? And he was like, yeah. I said, I did that to see if you was, you know, see if you was out there for one, and to see if Joshua was out there. And my cousin was like, why would Joshua be out there? And I was like, because he played football. He in a semi-pro. And he said that he worked with you. He be out here with the boys all the time. My cousin said, that dude lying, like he told you that? And I say, yeah. Like, I wasn't laughing. I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, nah, not him going out bad like that. And I'm like, what you mean? He was like, nah, Joshua, he wouldn't do that. I say, yeah. He told me he'd be out there coaching with you. And I was like trying to pop up and surprise him because I wanted to see him. My cousin just laughed. And he was like, nah, I know he ain't play you like that. And I'm like, what? So he was like, this dude don't play no football. I'm like, for real? He was like, for real? He was like, nah, he don't play no football, girl. And I was like, well, damn, but do he coach at least? My cousin's just dying laughing. Now, mind you, my other cousins is there and they're laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? And my cousin was like, nah, I know Joshua didn't play you like that. Like, he cool people, but he crossed the line. So I'm like, okay, dang, like what is so bad? So I'm like talking to my cousins, like, what's wrong? My cousins is still laughing. He was like, I should call this dude right now and put him on blast. I'm like, yes, what's going on? My cousin like, man, this guy been paralyzed since we was like in elementary school. This guy in a wheelchair. So, you know, it's nothing wrong with being in a wheelchair because he was very handsome. He was very handsome. It was nothing wrong with being in a wheelchair. But let's continue. My cousin was like, man, because I guess they been friends forever. So he was like, man, Joshua been paralyzed since we was in elementary school. He paralyzed from like the waist down. He ain't no athlete. Like, he probably lift a little weights, but he ain't no athlete. This guy, his mama take care of him. Like, his mama take care of him. And I'm like, oh, wait, what? He was like, yeah, man, this guy paralyzed. He can't really do much. He been in the house since we were kids. Like, his mama, his primary caretaker, he stayed with his mom. And I'm like, no. He was talking crap about his mama, talking about he want to get his own house and he want to move out and how his family do too much. And his mama, one day we were supposed to go meet and he stood me up because he said his mama had a last minute therapy appointment. So my cousin just laughing. He was like, nah, no, he didn't play you like that. He was like, nah, Miss so-and-so, his mama, it's his caretaker. Like, I know he didn't lie to you like that. I'm like, yes, cousin, he lied to me. So they just still laughing at me, y'all. Ooh. My cousins did me dirty. They laughed at me so bad. And I didn't find it funny. I ain't gonna lie, my little heart was a little broken. I was a little disappointed, y'all. We just continued to do our thing. The night continued, and I go home. So Joshua out of nowhere, I'm gonna wrap this up, y'all. Joshua out of nowhere decided to call me. And the conversation was very mellow. It was very serious. And he decided to tell me that he was paralyzed. I guess my cousin must be called him and told him, like, yo, stop playing with my cousin. Tell her me. We decided to talk about it. And he was like, yeah, I've been paralyzed since I was a little boy. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I was a little disappointed, but it was nothing wrong with him being in the wheelchair. It's just like you played with me. You strung me along. You catfished me. He catfished me because he lied to me. He could have simply told me he was paralyzed, and I could have decided what I wanted to do from here on out, if I wanted to talk to him or not. He didn't give me that choice. He just strung me along, kept ghosting me, standing me up, lying to me, lied to my face. So, yeah, he catfished me, y'all. Camera died, y'all, but yeah. So he was like, he was paralyzed since a little boy, and he video called me on WhatsApp, and he put the camera from his feet all the way to his face. And I feel so bad, y'all. Even to this day, I think about Joshua sometime, only because I feel so bad what happened this morning. So he missed his bus to his therapy because he was like, his mama wasn't there this morning, and you know how you try to, like, I guess, put on your jeans. Like, he can, like, you know, move his arms, but he was trying to put on his jeans and they got stuck, y'all. He couldn't move his legs, and he was like telling me that his jeans were stuck in his shoes or whatever. Like, they was just stuck. He couldn't get his pants up, so he missed his transportation that morning. And I want to laugh a little bit, like, that's what you get for lying to me. I want to crackle just a little bit, but that's just the bad in me. But the good in me is like, dang, like, I wish I could have went and, like, helped him. But he pretty much was stuck with his pants to his shoes the entire time till his mama got home, y'all. And I told my cousin what happened, and my cousin was like, that's what he get for lying. And, you know, they made a little kiki ha-ha out of it because he was okay. But, y'all, he catfished me. Yup, I got catfished. I got catfished again. And yeah, I tried to be friends with Joshua a little bit after that. We kind of texted and we talked, but it was nothing serious, because maybe if you came off honest, maybe, just maybe, I would have, like, you know, liked him a little bit. But after I found out that you lied to me, you stood me up, and you catfish, you ashamed of your predicament, be proud of who you are, like, regardless if you can't walk. Like, he was just trying to hide it, and he was lying. Had his cousin run off on me. Like, I don't know why he did that till this day. Like, he never gave me an answer. So weird, y'all. Catfished. If y'all enjoyed this story, honey, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'm done. Like the video. If you're not already subscribed, join the community. Hit the subscribe button and become a part. And hit your notification bell so you can keep up with me and know when I upload. And, you know, let's make it do what it do. I'll see y'all the next time. And I am out. Love y'all. Peace.